Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing? Now this is the game we've all been waiting for. The Classico. Borussia Dortmund host Bayern Munich in what is to be a fiery affair. The title could be won or lost in this one game. Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. These two teams, as you'll know, have met many times in the past. And of recent, we've seen Bayern Munich be the victor quite astoundingly over their last two games. The last two games they've played, Bayern Munich have won with an aggregate 9-0. However, if we take a deeper look into these fixtures, we see that the home team tends to have the greater advantage. Both those two games, 5-0, 4-0, but both at home for Bayern Munich. And whenever Dortmund are at home, they tend to fare a lot better. They'll win a lot more often than not. Bayern Munich overall have picked it. They have more wins than Dortmund. However, with there no longer being any crowd, any atmosphere at these games, will it really be as fiery as we're all hoping? And that means, will Dortmund really have an advantage? Because, they've been winning all their games at home that they play against Bayern Munich. But now they don't have the atmosphere, they don't have the crowd. So will this allow Bayern Munich to come in and seal their position at the top of the table to win the Bundesliga for this season? Well, let's take a look at the players we have here and just have a little discussion of who we think is a good option for tomorrow's game. I mean, it is very nice seeing all these players being so affordable. I mean, I'm not quite seen Erling Haaland be, below 9,000. Lewandowski is below 12,000. Can't remember when the last time that happened. But it is nice to be able to build a team where all the players in their team are very good. I mean, I won't have to go over too much explaining on all these players because we know all these players are top class players. It is actually the first time Lewandowski and Haaland have faced off against each other. So that being said, Lewandowski of the two, obviously, he's a more prolific goal scorer than Haaland. Haaland, a new kid on the block. He's been firing the goal since he first joined. However, he will be facing the league's best defence. So that's a bit of a problem. Although, with the way Bayern Munich do like to play with two very quick attacking fullbacks, it could allow a lot of space in behind for the very quick Dortmund team. Sancho, Haaland's quick. You got Hakimi bombing down that side. We just have two very, very quick attacks. So this should be a very, very good game. But sort of looking at the options, we saw that Gnabry and Sancho were both benched. I think they both will start in this game. They were just sort of rested in the previous game for this big game because it really will decide the title, as I've said multiple times already. But yeah, I mean, if we're looking at sort of crafting a team, I think Thorgan Hazard, if he starts for 7,600, that's great value. Alongside him is Hakimi, although Hakimi's a hard one because we may see with Bayern keeping a lot of possession that he might be a bit restricted. However, with Alphonso Davies and the way Alphonso Davies likes to play, he likes to bomb down that left side, and Hakimi, being as quick as he is, might be able to keep up with Alphonso and also abuse the fact that Alphonso is going to get in behind him and maybe lurk a little bit further forward. So then for the counter attack, Alphonso Davies would just be left in the dead. With also the way that Dortmund are now playing, they're now playing sort of three kind of more central players at the back. Piszczek has kind of dropped into that right centre-back role, with Hummels being in that centre position, and we can't expect Hummels to start again, news reports are telling us. And then Akanji on that left centre-back, Aguero pulling in the left wing-back kind of role. So really looking at the players here, I mean, this is one, I'm tempted to do a 20 lineups because we've just got so many different combinations of good players that we could put into this team. I mean, it's really just going to be, if Lewandowski or Muller have a dud game, or if Sancho, Gnabry, if one of those have a dud game, I'm stating the obvious here really, but you're going to want to be picking the guys who are bringing in the points. I can see, well, it could potentially be one of those games where, you know, a player like Alphonso Davies could go and grab a goal, and, you know, you could be going for the likes of Lewandowski, Müller, Gnabry, and Alphonso Davies comes in and nabs a goal. All of a sudden, you're flying up the leaderboard because all these guys are much higher owned. If we do look a little bit further down, we see that our main man Kimmich, who came in, what did he come in with? He came in with around a 20. He was 18.2 points, absolutely absurd, with no goals or assists. That's incredible stats. I'm pretty sure, did he have a yellow card as well? No, he didn't, but he had a few fouls. He had a foul conceded, so that hindered him a little bit. But I mean, this guy for 7,000, I think, automatic captain lock-in for myself. Guerrero, who's got 3 goals in his last 2 games since the break, has been performing very well. We get down to the sort of goalkeeper area, 6,400 Neuer. We can expect Dortmund to score, and also they don't really shoot that much apart from scoring, so Neuer probably not the best option here. Tempted by Berkey because we probably will see Bayern have a lot of shots, and Dortmund is a team I back to sort of stop, or at least, you know, stop the pummelings of the sort of the 5-4 goals. Hopefully we can see that restricted to maybe 1 or 2 in terms of for the Dortmund defence. We scroll down, and I think great value for money here is Benjamin Pavard, 4,800. That's the cheapest really you're ever going to see him. And then we really sort of start to get into the filler players. But it's nice knowing that for once, all these filler players, you know, they're well-known names. They're players who will tend to more often be above the sort of 3,000, 4,000 mark. If they were playing an easier opponent, maybe they'd be more around 5,000. So, you know, these guys will come in more often than not with a bit higher FPPGs than we would tend to see in other games. So without further ado, let's start and have a look at building a team. So as I said, I really do like Kimmich as a captain. You know, in these games we do tend to see quite a lot of goals flying around. However, I just quite like the idea of Kimmich, you know, the crosses, the interceptions. He's just a very, very solid captain pick, and one that's going to just keep you ticking through the whole game, and also give you a lot more leeway to get some of these world-class players in as well. Now, Sancho, if he's back, will get a lot of set-piece share for Dortmund. Before he was out, he was picking up a lot of the corners, a lot of the set pieces, and we can see here he's absolutely whipping the ball in. And he also has a very high chance of grabbing you a goal or assist, or just generally creating a lot of chances. It's hard not to have Haaland at 8,400, although as I mentioned before, he doesn't have the greatest of floors when he doesn't score, as we can see here, 1.3, 1.8. I mean, he only played 27 minutes there, but even a 9.3 for, you know, a guy who probably cost around 11,000 at that time, but he does have a very high potential of scoring. And you can probably see in this game his ownership being a bit lower, so if he does score, he'll probably go up the leaderboards quite a lot. Now, Alphonso Davies is a player who's really kind of stuck around the 7,800 mark throughout the season, and is a player I would tend, you know, to pick at this kind of price. However, being against Dortmund and the improved defence that Dortmund have shown of late, picking up quite a few clean sheets, and I don't think they've not conceded since we've come back after the break. So Alphonso Davies, someone I think I'll maybe steer a little bit clear of. If it was a bit cheaper, I'd quite like that. However, Thorgan Hazard at 7,600, sort of the cheapest attacker you're actually going to get on the slate, apart from, you know, the likes of Goetze, but he's not really even starting. So him being the cheapest attacker, I think for me he's got to go in there. He'll get his fair share of set pieces. He was actually on corners when Sancho was on the pitch, which I quite like the look of. And, you know, he's likely to pick up a goal or an assist, or, you know, be somewhat a part of the attacking plate. Then to complete the team, I mean, it's going to be between Lewandowski, Müller and Gnabry in the attack. Just for value for money, I think Gnabry, you know, he comes in with a very, very solid floor. I mean, we see he'll be picking up sort of 20 points a week. He'll tend to pick up 20 points a week. I know here he's sort of had a few lackluster games 1.8, I mean, he only played 26 minutes. This is not really what we'd like to see from him, 6.9 points. However, hopefully after a bit of a rest at the weekend, he'll be fresh enough to start and really blow Dortmund away. So we're going to lob Gnabry in there. As we can see, we only have 12,500. So really, we've only put in Gnabry and Sancho out of the kind of big boys. Still left the sort of Lewandowski, Müller, Perisic, Haaland. And we only have 12,500 left. So even if we put Haaland in there, we'd have 4,100, which, you know, out of all of the players is the best sort of value. I do like the look of Perisic as well. He had a very good game at the weekend. He didn't score or get an assist, but he came in with a 10.8 without scoring or assist, which was very, very nice to see indeed. Kingsley Coman, someone you can also take a look at for 8,000. He had a half decent game at the weekend. Actually, no, he had what am I saying? He had a very, very good game at the weekend. 22.3 points with only an assist. Someone to definitely consider. However, out of the filler players we've got down here, I very, very much like the idea of having Pavard. He's just going to get you a few more points. I feel like the combination of, you know, Coman and maybe Piszczek, if you have sort of Pavard and say Hakimi in there, who's going to be bombing down the wing, getting some crosses in. I mean, I did say at the start of this video, he may be a bit restricted, which I do think is the case, but I think we could still see him picking up a 10 points. I mean, away to Leverkusen, he's picked up 11.8 points. Borussia Mönchengladbach, we see him picking up 19.7. So of late, he has had some very, very consistent scores, and hopefully we'll be seeing him pick up a similar sort of floor in this game. This is a kind of team I'll be hoping to go for. Obviously, this is one team. You can create many different teams. It's really just going to be fitting and having sort of the combination of attackers that get the assists and the goals in this game. You could do so many lineups and just have so many different combinations that could work out for you on the day. Not having Müller and Lewandowski really, you know, it could definitely hurt you. Lewandowski easily in this game could come in with something of a hat-trick, or he could easily just blank. You never really know with this game. That's why it's supposed to be such a good game. I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've tried to keep it quite concise. We know that Kimmich and Sancho are the main set piece takers for their respective team. Brandt does tend to get on a few corners. However, in this game, for Dortmund especially, we'll probably see them a bit restricted in terms of how many corners they can actually get. Bayern Munich, I'm expecting them to get their sort of average amount of corners as Bayern Munich are the sort of more possession-based team. We can expect them to be attacking a lot more often than Dortmund. That being said, Dortmund in this game will be looking to counter-attack with all the pace they've got. So it's supposed to be a very exciting game. Hope you've enjoyed this little review. There's a lot to think about, and I'll catch you in the next one.